There we go. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Eric Frank and I am founder and CEO of Acrobatiq. Scenario. So a student spends 45 days and about $1,700 in a college course before dropping out, wasting valuable time, money, and increasing the probability that they'll drop out of college altogether. What if we could have identified within the first 7 days 75% of those students who are likely to drop out of that course, and at worst, save them some money by advising that they get out of that course, at best, directing support their direction so they can successfully complete the course. That's the power of machine learning in education. Scenario. A teacher assigns work, and most of what a student does in a typical college course is done away from the eyes of the instructor. They do homework, they do reading, they do projects, they study, and the instructor has little to no insight into what's happening, whether students learning, whether they're not learning, and therefore has little ability to make adjustments to instruction along the way. What if instead we could see, can you hit that video in the back? What if we could see exactly what a student was doing? We could see when they were doing it, how they were doing it, how well they were performing it, what they're learning and what they're not learning, and could adjust instructional strategies accordingly to help improve learning outcomes. That's the power of data analytics. Student up the night before the test, cramming, trying to get in everything that was done in the last month in the course. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work for test preparation. What if instead that student could log into a personalized test preparation session? It would serve them with instruction, with practice and feedback, targeting exactly what the system knows they're likely to underperform on the test the next day. That's the power of adaptive learning. Typical scenario, professor is going to teach 300 undergraduate students. He's unquestionably an expert in his research area, but has little to no formal training in education or instructional design. Now he's being asked to take that expertise, bring it into the online environment, and design, develop, and deliver online learning in an environment he knows even less about how to instruct effectively in. What if we could provide every one of those professors with a virtual instructional design expert inside of an online course authoring system that guided, prompted, and supported them to take advantage of the state-of-the-art in learning design? That's smart content. And then finally, even if I could arm this instructor with the best analytics in the world, will they have the time or capacity to actually act on the individual needs of each student? Highly unlikely. But what if I could take that same student and have an artificial intelligence-based tutor watching their work as they progress, guiding, supporting, and coaching them along the way? That's the power of artificial intelligence in education. So that's the power of machine learning, analytics, adaptive learning, smart content, and artificial intelligence. That's the power of Acrobatiq, powered by Carnegie Mellon University. So Acrobatiq is founded in 2013, and we really exist to try to help learning organizations harness the power of science and technology to deliver high-impact online learning. We've raised over $20 million. We have a really strong investor group that ranges from traditional venture capital VCs, Draper, Hearst Ventures, to sort of non-traditional investors like the Gates Foundation, who's an equity investor in the business. The company comes out of a long history, so we're 5 years old, but we come out of a long lineage at Carnegie Mellon University. They're experts in cognitive science, data science. All that came together in 2001 in this project called the Open Learning Initiative. And OLI was basically building technology and algorithms to see if we could affect good learning design online, collect data, and build feedback loops to learners that would help them learn. Over 12 years, there were over 25 journal papers that came out that were demonstrating that students were learning faster. Using OLI environments, they were increasing their knowledge retention when retested in the future. They were improving transfer. They could take what they learned and apply it to new and novel problems. And that's what really led Carnegie Mellon to decide in 2013, let's invest in a company, stand it up, transfer the IP, and get this out into the world at scale. So what Acrobatiq does today is really provides a learning platform with these core components. Smart Author, an intelligent authoring environment that guides instructors to build state-of-the-art learning experiences online, a smart classroom where students interact with it in an adaptive environment, and an analytics engine which is collecting and modeling data and then sending that data to various places back into the environment to adapt instruction in the form of dashboards to give stakeholders various guidance as to what they should be doing effectively, And we integrate all that with other ed tech applications, primarily the learning management system. So we fill a gap in the learning management system. We provide training, we provide support, we provide services to help universities get good at building and delivering and instructing from this kind of educational experience. We make money by selling an annual subscription, so universities subscribe on an annual basis based on the number of users, and we provide some optional services. They can also purchase content in a pre-existing library to build courses more quickly, and professional services, development, training, etc. A good example of a user, National Louis University. So this is a school in Chicago. They set out to target disadvantaged learners. If you look at who their students are, 94% of them minority students, 87% Pell-eligible students, performance in high school well under the admission standards of most universities, 72% of them going to college for the first time in their family. This is a forgotten demographic, right? This is who everyone doesn't want to come to their institution. They specifically said we want to offer a pathway to an associate's degree for this body. Using the approach that I've described, if you look at their first to second year retention results, they're actually exceeding national standards for all students, never mind for students like the ones at National Louis. So the company today is generating over $3 million revenue, $3.5 million revenue this year thus far. 90% of that revenue is recurring because we have a SaaS subscription model, so a good, healthy, recurring business model. And now that we've found sort of a beachhead in higher education, we're looking at extensions into corporate training and workforce development training, two places that lend themselves quite well to this kind of experience. So I think that, I think about us as sort of powering progress. I think we're at the very nascent stages of what we know about how to apply these technologies in learning environments to affect positive learning outcomes. So I think we're at the tip of the iceberg, but lots to come, and we feel privileged to be part of this movement that's happening. Thank you.